My name is Alex Simo, and I suffered from a debilitating irritable bowel disease known as ulcerative colitis for over 15 years. I know firsthand how embarrassing it can be to not find a bathroom when you need it most, so that's why I created Lavy. Lavy is a free tool that allows users to log restroom locations and find the nearest restroom for their particular needs. What makes Lavy unique, though, is not only can you log a restroom location, you can log all of the information with that associated restroom as well. Let me show you how it works. So when you first log into Lavy, this is what you're going to see. If you scroll up here, you'll get a short tutorial on how you can actually log bathrooms, but I'm going to show you that right now. So we're in the great hometown of Las Vegas, which is where I'm from, and let's just go ahead and find somewhere that we can log a restroom. Let's just pick Juan's Flaming Fajitas, for instance. So let's say we're at Juan's and we go into the restroom. We're going to tap add. I have to sign in, so I'll go ahead and do that. If I don't already have an account, I just have to go ahead and register. All it requires is your email. Now that we're all logged in, we're going to go ahead and add this bathroom to the Lavy network. So first up, we have to log which floor the bathroom is on. If you live in a city where there's a lot of verticality, obviously a bathroom can be on any myriad of floors, but maybe you live somewhere where there's a mezzanine or a basement. We have that covered here as well, but I would say most bathrooms are going to be on the first floor or the ground level, so we're going to go ahead and hit continue. Next up, we're going to determine if this is a male bathroom, a female bathroom, all gender, or a family bathroom, because depending on where you're located, these bathrooms are labeled differently. So for the purposes of this example, let's just go ahead and use the male. And next up, we're going to determine if this is a single-use bathroom or a multi-use bathroom. This is for instances where you go somewhere and maybe it's one person per unit. That's totally fine. But in some instances, it's a multi-use restroom where there's multiple, in the instances of men, urinals and stalls for multiple people to use. So we're going to go ahead and pick multiple for this example. And next, we're going to log all of the details of this restroom. So how many urinals does it have? How many total stalls does it have? How many handicap stalls does it have? This is very important because let's say you're going with your family somewhere and you have a large family. Maybe it's 2 parents and 4 or 5 kids, and you want to find a restroom that can accommodate all of those people at once, or you don't feel like waiting a long time because a bathroom can only accommodate 1 or 2 people. This allows you to know prior to going to that restroom how large that restroom is, so that way it can accommodate your needs. So let's just say, for example's sake, there's 2 urinals, there's 2 total stalls in the bathroom, and of those 2 stalls, one of those is a handicap stall. I'd say that's pretty common for some multi-use bathrooms, that they only have 1 handicap stall, but they may have multiple stalls total. Finally, we get to any of the extra information, and this is the real meat of Lavy. So here you can leave a review of 1 to 5 stars of the bathroom, and this helps other people know when they go to that bathroom if people think that that bathroom is a nicer bathroom or it's a more disgusting bathroom. Ideally, in the future, we want to have the ability for people to leave more detailed reviews of the bathroom, so that way they can know prior to getting to the restroom what they can expect, and if it's a restroom that they actually want to use versus maybe driving a little bit further down the road or choosing a different restroom that might be nicer altogether. But now there's plenty of other information that we can apply to this restroom. Let's say while we're in the restroom, we see that there's a changing table. We can apply that to this particular bathroom so that someone knows that if they have an infant, that they can actually use a changing table instead of having to change their kid on the floor, which in some instances, especially for male, because there's many more changing tables in female bathrooms as opposed to male bathrooms, this is something that a lot of parents would like to know prior to using a particular restroom. Maybe you need a code or a key. This is very common in heavily densely populated areas where businesses only want their patrons using their restrooms, so maybe there's some sort of barrier to accessing that restroom. You can know that ahead of time thanks to the fact that we can log it in Lavy. Maybe there's a sort of medication that you need to take on a timely basis that requires a syringe. Some bathrooms are equipped with sharps containers. We can log that in Lavy as well. And so we can have a myriad of other features in here. Keep in mind that we are still in alpha, so we are still waiting for a full release, which is why we want to work with all of you to figure out what best tools we can provide so that we can make your bathroom finding experience as best as possible. You're also able to leave notes down here in this section because maybe the bathroom is in a sort of labyrinth where you have to go down the stairs, go all the way to the back hall, 3rd door on the left type of situation. You can leave those notes in here so that anyone using the app will more easily be able to find the bathroom, especially if they're in a time crunch. Once you're all finished, you just tap continue, and now it'll add the bathroom to the Lavy network for anyone using the platform to find. You can see here we already have hundreds of restrooms logged in 6 different states and 2 different countries. And with your help, we can grow this map even more. Again, I want to reiterate, Lavy is just an alpha. We still have a long way to go, but with your help, we can truly build the world's best bathroom app. I created Lavy because I wish something like this existed when I was suffering the worst of my disease. Now, whether you suffer from an irritable bowel disease like I did, you just want a changing table for your kid, you're in a foreign country, you don't speak the language, and you want to find the closest bathroom, or maybe you just want to have an enhanced restroom experience and not have to deal with going to disgusting restrooms, Lavy is the app for you. Click the link in the description and start using Lavy today.